Hi guys, it's Floss and this is Floss's Corner where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but sometimes I might also show you other things that I enjoy doing. In today's video, I will be showing you what I've been up to for more than 2 months. So I was pretty much MIA the whole December and January, so I missed the Christmas and the New Year best wishes to you. If that's what you're interested in, then keep watching. Today is 3rd of February, the Saturday, and yes, I have been MIA for more than 2 months, since the end of November till today. Right off the bat, I'd just like to show you we've got a new microphone. We have a little plug-in one to the computer for editing. We've never really had like a video making sort of microphone. So this is our little Christmas gift to us. It's a pair of 2. So in the future, if I do want to make a Stitch With Me video with JP, then, we can both have our microphone and there's no in and out of voices, because before we were just relying on the phone camera. Then secondly, the outfit. So this is like a modern version of the traditional Chinese costume, 旗袍. It's because next Saturday is Spring Festival or Chinese New Year. Well, depending on how strict you are, if some people say Chinese New Year, they might get into trouble. But yes, Spring Festival, so Lunar New Year. I just thought since I am probably not going to make a video on that day, I might as well do this just as an early celebration. We don't do anything too crazy because normally you celebrate it with your family and it's like a big, ordeal. So it's like Western Christmas, but even crazier because there's red pocket involved for kids, and also generally like the Spring Festival Eve, there will be a TV program just for Spring Festival, and I think most family would watch it, and it goes till over midnight. So yeah, it's like a whole thing, and obviously there will be a lot of fireworks. So I think there will be dedicated fireworks, sort of like a show, but also as individual families, you can also do the fireworks. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm here. So we probably will just try to cook something tasty, and that's the end of that. And also, right off the bat, can I just say it is good, but also hard to be back. Like anything, if you haven't done it for a while, you really don't want to do it. And I guess MIA for more than 2 months, there's a huge gap that I need to fill to tell you, what I've been stitching and what I've done. It's quite daunting. And for sure, I'm not going to remember everything, so I will just have to give you what I can. And normally for my floss tube update video, it's like I try to give you as much information as I can. So like how many hours I've stitched on each project, but with this much time in between, I can't. So I will just tell you how many days I worked on the project. And yeah, so first thing will be haul, and then whip, and some kind of plans, maybe filming plans or stitching plans, and then like a tiny bit of life update. life update. I mean, it's going to be a long video regardless, so I don't want to dwell on too much for life updates. Instead, maybe I'll do a separate video for that. So I guess without further ado, let's just delve into it. I don't buy as much as a lot of people do, actually. So I am on a hobby budget, and I've been on a hobby budget for, I think, at least 2 years. My budget is $50 a month, and I normally tell you how much everything is and then tell you how much I have left after all the things I've bought. Now, this is going to be very confusing because there are 3 hobby budgets. So there's like $150 in between this video and my previous video. So you just have to take my word for it that this is how much I've spent and this is how much I have left. From last time when I talked to you, which was end of November, I had $39.31 left, and I have purchased some stuff. So the first thing I bought was a little Dimensions gold collection petite on Amazon. It's called Christmas on the Beach. Now, I have been eyeing this one for a long time, and I know I could get it cheaper somewhere else, but the story behind this purchase was months and months ago, I've got this, I guess, voucher credit, whatever you call it, from work. And I had, I think, just under $25 left on that credit, and we could use that credit to buy things from Amazon. And this Christmas on the Beach kit on Amazon, I think, was maybe a bit over $30. And I know I could get it much cheaper from JK's Cross Stitch Supplies. I think it would have been $15 plus shipping, obviously. But because of the credit, I thought, you know, there's not that much extra involved for me. So I bought it on Amazon. And with the credit in mind, I paid $7.15 for this. So that's this little kit. Now, I am not huge on Christmas related projects. I'm not huge on a lot of things, to be honest. But this one's cute because clearly I live in Australia and, you know, we're in summer here when it's Christmas time. But this Christmas, it's not quite summery, it's still very cold. It's very hard to find Christmas projects that are summery. It tends to be snow, Santa Claus related, which I don't really want to stitch too much of. And yeah, this is one of the few that involves summer because it's on a beach. Not sure whether I'll start it anytime soon, but it's good to have. It is on 18 count Aida, and I don't know, the threads are weirdly plain, except for the reds and little orange. But yeah, I think it will be quite relaxing to stitch because, you know, you stitch the sky, stitch the sea and the beach. Yep, love it. So $7.15 out of pocket on this one. And then I bought a little chart on my trustworthy Aussie Cross Stitch Stash and Load Facebook group. This is also a Dimensions one, but I think it must have been quite old because it's not a kit, it's just a chart. Must be from back in the day when Dimension still had like the paper chart. It's called The Enchanter by James Hemsworth. I think Dimensions, they're probably mainly gold, has a lot of projects charted from his artworks. And they tend to be like angels and I think wizards. So I'm pretty sure I have a couple of wizard kits already. It's just adding to the pile because yeah, hubby JP is a huge nerd. You know, being into wargaming and fantasy and stuff, he loves wizards and dragons and whatnot. Cool. So yep, this is $10 including shipping. So that's a little addition to my collection. And that's Rocket. He has what is it, like sleep startle, sort of. So he'll bark in his sleep. Does it say how big? The stitch count is 168 by 250. If I were to stitch it on 18 count Ada, or 14 count Ada, it would be 12 by 17 and 3/4. So it is not small. Let's say that. And it should be done on black Ada, I think. Yep. So that's the second purchase. And then I bought some very boring threads. So this is just from Crafty Threads, but they also do, I guess, random posts on Facebook groups when they have, I guess, like a special discounted stuff. This is, I think, out of production threads. So some of the 3,800 numbers, I just got 2 each. The reason being, I have a project, I think it's called Cozy Grove. It's an Etsy chart, full coverage as well, and it's massive. That one needed some colors that are technically no longer being made. I think one color is in one of these, but the other one is sold out. But still, it's good to have. You never know what the charts are calling for. And yeah, I got a couple of needles too, which is nice. And this pack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 altogether, 7 colors, cost me $855. That's including the shipping too. And that's the third purchase. Bit of a boring one. Then the last one I purchased was a kit. Now, I haven't been thinking about this kit for a long time because I think it was a new one. But the moment I found it, I just was in love with it. I'm not 100% happy with the kit, but it's just so pretty. I first found it on Etsy and I was hoping it would get cheaper because it was from Yarn Stories, I think. She is from, what, Lithuania? I'm not sure. And the shipping was a little bit on the expensive side. It was still like $14 or something, which is okay. But I thought, I could wait. It's a new one. It won't disappear. And then I found it on the Fox collection, like the leaflet kind of thing. I found it on there. So I thought, oh, damn, it's in Australia. Why don't I just buy it locally? So I bought it. with shipping, this one cost $86.90. It is a Riolis kit called Lantern Festival. And it looks like this. And yes, it is Chinese themed, because we do have Lantern Festival. Or maybe you call it, what do you call it? You call it Lantern Festival, but we call it like glutinous rice dumpling festival, 元宵节. So it's on the 15th of Jan Lunar New Year, which it's soonish actually, in 3 weeks. So yeah, very pretty. This one unfortunately is on 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾 14 count, and it uses anchor stranded cotton 24 colors. It's just a very atmospheric kit, but the things I'm not happy with is the girl's face and hand. If you really scrutinize it, the details aren't great. But yeah, I guess to get away with designing someone's face in a very small kind of scale, you gotta have some very rough edges. So yeah, but it's just a girl in a traditional type of Chinese clothes. And yeah, letting go a lit up lantern at night. And you can see all the other lanterns in the background. Very, very pretty. So that one, so after all this and February help you budget $50, I got $86.71. Yep. And then I'll show you some other things. So last time when I saw you for my update, I said I got Taryn from 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾 Handmade to finish my funny coffee for me. And also I got JP a whole set of project bags. So that includes like a little bits and bob bag and a thread keeper. But at the time I hadn't got the package yet, so I couldn't show you the bags. Plus, if you want to see my FFO for funny coffee, go to this video that I linked. It's my previous video, recorded very quietly because my mum was still here. And yeah, this is the bag. It's already got JP's project in there. It's a space bag. Now the whole back and forth with Taryn about fabric was not fun. Because yeah, choosing something for a guy is a bit more difficult, I think. Especially, I guess he's not into like Harry Potter or something that much, so I can't get that kind of fabric, which is easier to find. But yeah, so that's the bag. It's 14 by 14. And that's the Notion bag. So it's a matchy set. Very well made. The fabric is very pretty. The more you look at it, the more you're kind of enchanted by it. Because there's a lot. Look at the galaxy. It's just, there's a lot to look at. It's very interesting. So yeah, that's the Notion bag. And then also the thread keeper is in there too. It's all matching. And this whole set was $50, which I thought was really reasonable, like really reasonable. And the next couple of things I got were gifts. So this one is not cross-stitch, clearly. It's an embroidery kit from Aldi when Aldi had those special buys. This is a Christmas gift from my mother-in-law. Yeah, my in-laws don't really quite understand the difference between all the, needleworks, but hey, it does kind of prompt me to give embroidery a go, because I feel like, to be honest, you can do a lot with embroidery, especially it creates so much texture. And also the next thing was a gift from, not a gift, but like a freebie from the Stitching Meetup. So one of the ladies at the Stitching Meetup brought a lot of charts that she wasn't going to stitch anyway. And it just so happened that this is a embroidery one too. And it looks very pretty. I guess it's a sign that I should give embroidery a go, hey? So finished size, it's 7 by 6 inch. Yeah, cute. And that's the end of my haul. For now, I don't really have a thing I really want to buy, so I can't tell you what my plan is with my budget. I guess I'll just keep hoarding it, or I do want to have new starts in the future, and that means I might have to spend more money kitting things up. So I guess that's good for that. And time for water. Oh, I'm hungry. Not sure whether you can hear my very angry stomach. Okay, now it's time for whips. Even though I've been missing for so long, I actually didn't stitch on many things. I had 9 whips to start off, and I stitched on 6 of them. So the first thing I'll show you is bunnies. It is a PDF chart I purchased on Etsy. It's by 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾 Designs, and I will show the preview there. It is pretty much like a bunny wreath. It's my focus piece this year because I want to gift it to a lady that designed our like little cartoon logos. She has 2 bunnies, but they are senior bunnies already. I'm hoping to get this finished before the bunnies pass away, but I don't know, I still have a lot to go. So for bunnies, I stitched altogether 7 days, 3 days in November and 4 days in January. And I'll show you. Here. Now it's stitched on 16 count hand-dyed Aida called Blue Sky. It's dyed by Paddock Lane Designs in Australia. I'll do a comparison photo as well. Last time when you saw it, it was at 36.1%. Now it's 5% more. So I finished a bit more on the bunny's body, and I had to stitch on the wreath itself as well. Before I was kind of avoiding the wreath, but it would be nice to finish this whole half of it so I can move on to the next bunny. So I had to stitch on the wreath, which means a lot of confettis and the progress was much slower. But yeah, it's getting very close to finishing half of it. If I were to finish it this year, I would have to do more than 5% a month, which is a lot to ask. But I gotta try, right? This one is not the most exciting to stitch because even though it looks kind of interesting as a whole, most of the colors are very muted, especially on the bunny's body. There's a lot of brown and cream, different shades of brown. I think when I purchased the chart, I was drawn onto the wreath, which had shades of blue. But when you actually stitch it, it was very rarely like a pop of blue. It's generally just light blue and yeah, just light colors. But I gotta persist with it. And is there anything else I need to tell you? I think that's it. And then the next one I'm going to show you is Chicks Can Fly. It is also a PDF chart by New Leaf Craft on Instagram. I don't know whether her shop has been set up yet, but if you are interested in the chart, which I will include the preview here, you can purchase it by, directly contacting her. What can I say? So I stitched on this one for 11 days, 6 days in December and 5 days in January. It is a gift for my boss who it's still kind of doing half duty because she broke her elbow, I think in October? I think so, in October or September. I think she's getting better, but who knows? She says she still couldn't drive. Yeah, and drum roll, I finished it. So I was really trying to finish it by January, and I don't know, I think I tried to follow the instruction as much as I could, but then just thought, it's okay if I couldn't get it. And that's what it looks like. And clearly there will be a comparison photo. I don't know whether you can see it, but it just says, "Hello, my chickens," which is what she normally says when she comes in. And the bit I stuffed up was the mother hen's legs. So there are like certain ways to go to show the shading of the feet, but it's fine. And also there was I think a mistake of this bit. It's supposed to be backstitched with one strand, but I just did a 2-strand thing, which if I don't point it out, you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. The fabric was called Raindrops by Pole Stitches. It is on 28 count even weave. So yeah, it is a finish, and it's my first finish in 2024. And I also did a little signature thingo. And I need to start thinking about finishing it, like fully finishing it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of tempted to just put it in a frame so that can sit on her desk. I don't want to do anything too fancy. Yeah, at this stage, I'm not quite sure yet. what can I tell you? So the wording, as you can see, was custom made, custom stitched. It gave me a hard time because at the start I was hoping to, I guess, create the writings myself. But then I just gave up because I wasn't happy with anything. And then I have this, I guess, cross-stitch software that's called WinStitch. And it actually has like some fonts that you can use for backstitching words. So I just ended up using that. And it still looks okay. So once it's framed, it'll just look like that. I guess maybe a little bit bigger. That would be very cute. Yeah, there are a lot of back stitches and a lot of blends. I think it had like 20 colors in this like very small chart, which is pretty awesome. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. And then the next thing I worked on was Coffee Break. And I worked on Coffee Break for 11 days in December. Coffee Break is a Design Works kit, and I used everything in that kit. It is stitched on 14 count Aida, and I finished it. I mean, I will show you the preview anyways. It looks like this. And their previews colors are very inaccurate. Yeah, it's not good. A lot of previews get photoshopped or the colors changed to suit whatever. I don't know. But mine looks like this. I even remembered to finish the couple of French knots that I didn't do at the start. Yeah, I have to do it like this for you to see the whole thing. I think I signed it, right? Yeah, I did. I signed it here. Oh, get it closer. Yeah, I've stitched on this for, I feel like, 1.5 years. It's been a while. The plan for this is to put it in the kitchen somewhere. But I'm kind of tossing between just put it in a frame behind glass so I don't have to worry about it getting dirty, or finishing it on some kind of mat board and making it look pretty and just exposing it. I don't know. I feel like, because we have dogs and the house isn't always, you know, spotless, maybe I should hide it or protect it behind glass. But it is definitely a lot more colorful than the preview, which is here. Yeah. So yeah, another one down. What can I say? There's not much to say about this one, really. And then the next one I was working on was Christmas Mitt. This is the one. Jingle Paws, Mitten Ornaments. I finished one the year before, so I finished one in 2022. Finished this one. And I was working on this one in December. And I worked on it for 6 days. And just finished it before the year ended. So that was the first one. This one stitched on 14 count Aida, and I got this, I think as a freebie from a previous purchase in Aussie Cross Stitch Stash Unload, and everything was in the kit, but I think some colors were missing. So if I move on to the other two, I might have to buy a couple of things. Especially, I think one needed 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓾𝓫, which I never worked with before. Yeah, I need to buy that. So this one was stitched on 14 count with 2 strands, but technically I should have stitched with 3. So for this one that I finished, 2023, I used 3 strands. So can you tell a difference? Is it much more vibrant? I don't know. But yeah, finished this, and I also did MacLeod's 2023. And I know sometimes people count these as individual projects, but I count the whole 4 as one. So this project's still not finished yet. It's still in my whip list. I think I will just stitch on this in July, so for Christmas in July, and also December. I'm not sure whether I want to whip it out any other time. Maybe when I feel like it. So yeah, that one is the last finish I had in 2023. And then the next one I worked on was Scrap, Taddy and Pip. It is a kit that I got as a present from my father-in-law, and I'm using the threads from the kit but not the fabric because the fabric got stained by, I think, one of the pinky threads, salmon-y colored thread, even though technically the kit uses DMC threads and DMC threads shouldn't bleed, but that's what it looks like. It's 3 dogs. And it's Man's Best Friend by 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾. Very cute. Last time when you saw it, I finished the dog in the middle, which was Tatty. I finished Tatty. Now I am stitching Pip. This is the same fabric as Chicks Can Fly. It's the Raindrop from Pole Stitches, 28 count, 2 strands over 2. I stitched on this for 6 days. I have to say I don't enjoy it as much because with Tatty, I stitched from like up to down, whereas for counting's sake, just in case I made a mistake, because there's a lot of gap in between, I did counting here from the, is it the shadow? Yeah, from the shadow here. So I had to go from bottom up, and I hate it. I low-key hate doing that. So then that means I had to count a lot because the way I stitch is from top to bottom. So, yep, did not make as much progress as I'd like, just because it's not as fun stitching from bottom up. Hoping to finish this soon so I can make some new starts. Yeah, it will definitely be finished, I think maybe the first half of the year. Don't want to give myself too many flags because I have trouble, don't know, keeping up with my goals. So did I say I worked on it for 6 days? I'm pretty sure I did. And then the last one I worked on was Winter Cabin by Dimensions Gold Collection. And it looks a bit like this. It's a kit that Laura from I Stitch Birds ? And I stitched together. Am I making sense? So, well, I went to my very first stitching retreat last May. It's called Vic Stitches, and Laura and I started this during that retreat. And I don't know whether I am more ahead now or she is, because I don't watch floss tubes much at all. I can't keep up. I just don't have the time. But yeah, I have solely enjoyed stitching on this. I think last time I whipped it out was in October. So this time I finally took it out after several months. I worked on this one for 12 days. It's on 16 count, right? 16 count blue Ada, I'm pretty sure. Right? Now I'm doubting myself. Yep, 16 count grey Ada. Grey Ada. And this is where I'm up to. I think Laura is doing more at the bottom, so around, like kind of focus on the reindeer more. The reindeer, it's like here. Whereas I am just stitching the cabin and the winter. So more like upwards. I guess two goals. Yeah, the first, so while I was stitching it in January, I was hoping, okay, I would hit 15%, and then I did. I also was hoping I could get to the top left corner, which is here, and then I did. And I also kind of filled in the first row-ish. So at least the top bit is all filled in now. Yeah, this one has a lot of half stitches, which I do enjoy stitching. People say half stitches go fast, but for me, it's not very fast. I just like it. It's something different. And then I am kind of doing some back stitching as well. I need to get it closer to you. A little bit for the tree. And I also stitched this bit. It kind of gives a bit of shading to the roof of the house. And there will be a comparison photo there. Last time when you saw it, it was at 11.7%. And now it's 16.9%. And excluding backstitch. I don't have cross stitch Saga, so I can't be super accurate in, I guess, understanding the percentage of the project that's completed. With Saga, it even counts all the backstitching and beading and all that as well. So the percentage it gives you is very accurate, whereas this is just, cross stitch and half stitches. I'm at 16.9%. And that's the end of what I worked on. For my cross stitch update, I also include JP, my husband's stitching update, and he is actually away. He is at a friend's place doing Kings of War battle, or like playing a game of Kings of War. But I can show you his progress. So the one he's working on is Mighty Samurai, and it would be nice if I have, I have it here. It's a Dimensions Gold collection. He's never cross-stitched before, and this is his first attempt. Yeah, I thought this would be a project that he would enjoy because it's a very handsome man. And I have heard that the older gold collection designs are easier to stitch. So I'm hoping he can deal with this. He's smart enough and pretty patient, considering he paints miniatures. I guess it's a bit crazy to do as one's first attempt at cross stitch, but I think I have this theory that the first try shouldn't be something super simple, just because you need to give yourself a challenge and understand what cross stitch could be. And yeah, learn a lot along the way. So with this one, he had to deal with a lot of blends. Anyway, I'll show you. So this is his progress. I think compared to last one you saw, this should be quite a lot of progress, because in December he went to Brisbane for a conference, and clearly he wasn't able to bring his miniatures to paint, so he ended up bringing cross stitch. And he said he really enjoyed stitching at night when he was trying to wind down after his gym sessions. So I think he might have stitched in Brisbane for like 2-3 nights, 2 nights at least, that I'm aware of. And then he also came with me to the monthly cross-stitch meetup. So he stitched 2 meetups as well. So yeah, finally he's not stitching the blends. I think he got into some blacks. Yep. And he is doing like the midriff kind of area. Yep. So yeah, he did pretty well. And if he stitches again in February, I will show you his progress next stitching update. And what else? And that's the end of the anyone's whip update. I'm going to talk a bit about plans. So I'm pretty sure I have mentioned before that I bought myself a Christmas present / birthday gift from Gecko Rouge, and I had been eyeing that kit called Gamer for a long time. Now, I did mention I would do an unboxing / first impression video. I know that one's not out yet. I didn't make false promise. I got the parcel a couple weeks before Christmas, and I actually still haven't opened it yet. It's just sitting right in one of the spare bedrooms, and I will do that unboxing video for you. Unfortunately, that particular chart is now no longer being sold. But still, I think you should be able to get a sense of what's included when you do purchase, and whether it's worth it, because it is not cheap. And they don't sell just the chart. It has to be a kit. So I will be as detailed as I can. And yeah, hopefully that video will be filmed and out in the next couple of weeks. And then I also want to do a Stitch With Me video with JP, just to talk about, you know, what has happened for the whole like 2.5 months-ish. So I don't have to say too much in this video, because otherwise it's going to be way too long. And so that's 2 videos, hey, that I am owing to you. Also, in terms of stitching plan, I have kind of mentioned it already. I do want to continue on the bunnies, and that's my focus piece this year. To be honest, like brutally honest, I don't think I can finish it this year, but I will try, or at least get it really close to being finished by the end of the year. And my throat is scratchy. And then I also want to finally whip out Spring Will Come by Artisy. It looks like this. I can't remember what percentages I'm at. I want to say 15, but maybe not that far yet. I don't remember when the last time it was when I worked on it, but it had been a long time. So yeah, it would be nice to finally get it out and stitch on it. What else did I write? And I also wrote, I want to do some new starts. And so Laura and I tend to talk back and forth a little bit randomly. And she did ask me whether there would be any new starts coming soon. And I thought about it. I know I will do new starts, but I'm kind of contemplating on whether to do one now or wait until I finish the Scrap Taddy and Pip. Is that what it's called? Scrap Taddy and Pip, yeah. I kind of want to finish that one before I start a new one, because most likely I'm going to start something medium to large, and then at the same time maybe something small as well. So yeah, I kind of want to get my whips reduced a little bit further. So I was having 9 whips, and now with a couple of things finished, I have 7. So yeah, it would be nice to get a couple of new starts once I'm at 6 whips. And I think that's the end of any stitching related stuff. I will just very quickly talk a little bit about life update, I guess. The details will be in the Stitch With Me video. This is just a very brief one because, you know, there's like a huge gap. I just want to fill in a little bit of it. So I did mention my mum came 30th of November. I think that's a Thursday night. And now she's gone already. So she stayed for Christmas, and she was contemplating whether she would stay till Chinese New Year, but I knew she wasn't gonna because she didn't even bring enough medicine. But I didn't really want to say it that way. And also, like, she wasn't missing home after a while, and it was getting a bit complicated in terms of, you know, having the freedom of doing whatever we want at home. So she left after about 7 weeks, and we were both really, really sad about it. But it was nice because last time I stayed with my parents for this long was, wow, 7 years ago? It was 2016, I think, after I finished my pharmacy internship. I had like a huge 3 months gap before I started a new job. So I stayed in China for about 3 months. And that was the last time when I really like lived with my parents for that long. It was interesting. I thought it was going to end really badly this time she came. I thought there would be a lot of arguments because, you know, our lives are so different now. Plus, you know, different generations. There's the generation gap. But there were a couple of disagreements, mostly around shopping, but it wasn't as bad. And she did clean a lot, cooked a lot. Hence, I am getting bigger once again. And I feel like I keep saying this. I'm not as heavy as like a couple weeks ago, but still, I am like pretty much at the heaviest stage of my life. And I have been trying to keep that under control. Also, I feel like I missed this in the in the November stitching update, but my father-in-law actually got robbed. His car got trashed by some kids. And it happened in the middle of the night. I'm going to speak about the details in the video, but pretty much he lost his car, and we have sponsored him to get another car because they weren't in the best finance situation to get a new car, and that was a whole ordeal as well. And then was it around Christmas? Or was it? I can't remember, but sometime in December, Rex got some glass up his paw. Now, he is a greyhound that just was not very sensitive to pain. Very different from Rocket. If Rocket was in a little bit of pain, he would complain about it, whereas Rex would just tough it up. So yeah, we noticed he was limping, and upon more careful inspection, we noticed there was some foreign matter in his paw, and it looked kind of shiny, so we suspected it was a glass. But unfortunately, it was a Saturday, so no vets were open, so we had to go to pet emergency. And I do have this glass. Can you hear it? It's not a small piece either, but I don't know whether you can see it. Can you see it? It's there. It's there. Yeah, he had this, I don't know for how long, probably a day, in his paw. He would still jump in the car and jump out. No complaints whatsoever. But so he had his x-ray to confirm it, which I think I made a community post on video in YouTube. And then he kind of stayed overnight. No, he did stay overnight. We were hoping to get him back sort of midnight-ish, but the pet emergency said 3 a.m. and we thought, nah, not gonna do that. So we picked him up early in the morning. He also donated some blood because, you know, he was under general anesthesia anyway, for the nurse and the vet to like do a little incision and get the glass out. Might as well save someone's dog, right? And that's what happened to Rexy. And now he's got another problem. We think it's either muscle related or like arthritis. So we're still trying to treat that. Yep. And the next thing is more future tense. So next Sunday, we're going to see Kevin MacLeod. If you don't know who he is, maybe you would know Grand Designs. So that's a show, that's a British show that's long running. I think it's been about 20 years. And he is the host of Grand Design. And we are kind of binge watching on Binge. So yeah, we're about to see him the day after Chinese New Year. And that's going to be cool. He will be talking about his experience with building, maybe give some suggestions and ideas on buildings as well. So yeah, that's going to be something different. And I think that should be the end of this video. I can't promise that there's not going to be a huge gap for my cross-stitch updates ever, but yeah, it's hard to get back into it when I have a huge gap. So I will try to do my update more regularly. I have talked to Laura about how, because of like floss tube, I kind of feel very compelled to stitch most of the time when I do have a bit of free time. But at the same time, I do want to do other things. I want to like look after myself, do cleaning, also gaming, socialize, like all these things. So maybe from now on, there's not going to be as much progress on things as I'd like. But if there isn't much happening, I would still make a video just short. And I hope you're still going to enjoy it, even if the length of the video isn't as long. Yeah, I think that's it. And I hope the microphone has elevated the quality of the video or the audio. And I will see you in the next video with this hopefully awesome sound quality too. Bye!